Hello, Infinity Streamers, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is where you are right now. Today, we're going to be looking at how to use free software to make a stinger that looks just like this. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is the same thing we do every time. Try to take over the world. Set up our project settings. Let's change the frame rate to 60 FPS. And for this, whatever resolution you're using, since it's a matte transition, you're going to double the width. So whatever you have for your width, double it. So for a 1920, that'll be 3840. Hit save. Head on over to your media tab. Right click in the media pool and hit new fusion composition. We're just going to name this matte and we're going to set it for 2 seconds. Next, we want to head on over to our Fusion tab. In our Fusion tab, we need to open the media pool. If you don't see it, you can show and hide it right here. Double click on the matte composition and you should see your media out. First thing we're going to do is right here, we are going to add 2 background. 1, 2. Now, to quickly edit both of them, just go ahead and drag and select both of them. And over here, in the Inspector tab, if you don't see the Inspector tab, you can show and hide it using the Inspector right here. Select Image, uncheck Auto Resolution, and bring the width back down to the original project dimensions before you doubled it. Select Background 1 and change the color to white. Drag the output of Background 1 onto the output of Background 2 to create a merge node. Drag the output of your merge node to your media out. Next, select the fast noise right here and drag and drop it in. Connect the output to the Background 1. Select your fast noise, and in your inspector, we're going to modify the detail, contrast, brightness, seed rate. We're just going to do a lot of modifications in here. First, we're going to select discontinuous and inverted. Next, we're going to bring the detail up, the contrast up, just the brightness and the scale, so you get something that looks pretty minimalistic. You want as little white in here as you can get to start the transition. Next up, select frame 0 on your timeline right here and keyframe your contrast. Select the last frame and bring the contrast all the way down. We're going to head back to our first frame and increase the seed rate ever so slightly. This will cause it to move around the screen and change over time. Preview it. And you can see it grows and expands and becomes fully white. Just head on over to your Edit tab right here. Drag and drop the matte comp onto the timeline. We need to move this over to the right side so it only affects the matte side of our stinger transition. To do so, select it and in the transform under the video settings, change the position to the width. So that will be 1920 for this one, and it'll move over to the right. Head over to the Deliver tab, give it a file name, pick a location. Format's going to be QuickTime, codec is going to be uncompressed, type is going to be BGRA, and check the export alpha. Add to render queue and render it out. Once you have that rendered out, you're going to want to convert that into a WebM format for use in OBS. You can follow the video tutorial right up here on how to do that. And be sure to subscribe. So next week, you can catch our video on how to remove green screens from the backgrounds of effects to get things like this that you can use in OBS. And be sure to join our Discord group. Link is in the description below.